This review, we're going to take a quick look at the case of Courtney Cleeney. She's currently in Florida facing second-degree murder charges for killing her boyfriend. And she was from Texas, and she was an Instagram and OnlyFans model, and was very popular, had 2 million followers on there. And her boyfriend also was from Texas, and they lived in a high-rise condominium in Florida right on the water, and she killed him in a dispute, a domestic violence dispute, and she's currently on trial. And they had a very tumultuous relationship. There was a lot of fighting, and some new video has just recently come on the internet concerning it, elevator video, and as well as some recordings and stuff. And let me get a little more background here. And the case is a very popular and sensationalized case. It has the potential to really be on fire. When it goes to trial, it'll probably be covered daily by the Court TV show, as well as some other shows. And the print media will also cover it rather extensively. And let me some additional background here. When the charges were first announced, it drew quite a bit of media attention, the charges against Cleeney, being charged with second-degree murder. And the trial goes... The trial date is December 19th, provided no changes are made, and the media, as well as kind of the public, are kind of counting down the days till it goes to trial. There'll be a lot of interest in it, and maybe we play it live on the internet, perhaps even on television. Let me get a little more background on here. Here's some background on the case. One moment, please.
From photo shoot to mugshot, Courtney Cleeney, a popular 26-year-old OnlyFans model, was arrested in Hawaii on Wednesday, suspected of stabbing her boyfriend to death in Miami back in April.
We are charging 26-year-old Courtney Taylor Cleeney with one count of second-degree murder in Christian's death. I'm told that she was on a remote island. We felt that the prudent thing to do, that the right thing to do, was to go and get her and secure her presence.
Her lawyer, Frank Pietro, said she was arrested while in rehabilitation for substance abuse and post-traumatic stress disorder. 27-year-old Christian Toby Obumseli was found dead at the couple's high-rise condo in Miami on April 3rd. Miami-Dade state attorney laying out a history of arguments and fights between them during a press conference Thursday, saying noise complaints were common, releasing a video showing Cleeney previously beating Obumseli during an argument. Police were even called to the apartment only 2 days before the killing.
And there's some additional background on the case. And let me get back to the... Now, Courtney Cleeney, prior to being charged with second-degree murder, was kind of like an all-American 1950s hamburger stand. She was from Texas, was a model, an actress, good at entertaining. And actually, that's a 1960s hamburger stand, but the point is made. And how such a drastic turn took place will be explored in the trial. And the trial, here's the Betty Broderick trial. That was a very famous trial from years ago. And her trial has the potential to be something in terms of interest, somewhere parallel to that. Betty Broderick trial was carried live on television, by the way. Even soap operas were bumped off to carry this her trial. And a few days before the killing, Cleeney called the police on her boyfriend for domestic abuse, and she was going to try to take a restraining order out against him. And let's see. The days of households having a dual phone line or an ice box have long since passed. This washing machine reflects the 1960s era, and it's not even all that old. But nowadays, computers are everywhere, and Cleeney used this as she generated a big following in the internet. She actually had 2 million followers, and she has the potential to be kind of a famous person when her trial comes about. And the case is pretty much on the internet and on television every day now, as she's trying to find out whether she's going to bond out or not while awaiting trial. Now, let me get some additional background on here. One moment, please. Let's see.
Kim Passoff here at the update desk. An OnlyFans model accused of killing her boyfriend in Miami had a prior domestic incident with him here in Las Vegas last summer. Metro Police records show that it happened in July of 2021 at the Cosmopolitan. The report says around 5 a.m., Courtney Cleeney argued with Christian Toby Amelsley, and she threw a glass at him. Cleeney is accused of fatally stabbing him in April. She was arrested in Hawaii on August 10th.
And that's some additional background there. And let me get this back on the screen here. And Cleeney was very much a performer. She seemed to have a natural aptitude for such. She was good in front of the camera. And the day of the stabbing, the Miami City Police raced to the scene, but it was too late. The victim died. And it took 4 months for the authorities to arrest her. By today's standards, that's actually a long time. The forensic evidence didn't match up with her story, and she was in Hawaii at the time she was arrested and was being treated for addiction and post-traumatic stress disorder. And this December is a month for snow, shopping, and Christmas, but it's also going to be the trial of Courtney Cleeney, and there's an old refrigerator with snow and stuff that personifies December. And she was quite wealthy. They lived in a high-rise apartment where the rent was $10,000 a month, and they drove high-end vehicles and traveled quite extensively. Let's see if we get another. Let's see. Get another. Here's some additional information.
Boomselli's family attorney was there too.
She had a history of attacking. What you saw in the elevator was just an isolated glimpse of a pattern of conduct that was demonstrated by the defendant.
The social media star with millions of followers telling police she stabbed Obumseli in self-defense. In a statement, Cleeney's lawyer said he was completely shocked with the arrest and that, quote, Obumseli attacked her and choked her that evening. Courtney had no choice but to meet force with force. Miami police had previously described Obumseli's death as a domestic violence-related incident. Back in April, Obumseli's family spoke to reporters questioning the investigation.
We have no cause to believe that this was a case of self-defense. Toby was raised by a very strong family with strong morals, strong values.
That's some additional background there, and I thought I had one more YouTube video on. Let's see. Oh, here's another video. One moment, please. I didn't already show this one, I think. Let me see.
OnlyFans model charged with murdering her boyfriend returns to court today as we see new video of a previous arrest. Over 10 and Marco live down with the latest on this case. Here.
Calvin, the hearing is still ongoing. Is whether or not Cleeney will get a bond, meaning will she be able to pay an amount of money so she can go home and await her murder trial instead of staying in jail. Today we are also getting a look at this couple's violent past. Courtney Cleeney back in court on Tuesday, getting emotional as attorneys from the state played back part of the 911 call from the day she stabbed her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli, inside their luxury apartment in Miami.
I can't get my arm.
Obumseli would eventually die from his injuries, and now Cleeney is charged with second-degree murder. Her attorneys say it was done in self-defense and that bruises on her body show Obumseli had attacked her first. The detective explained at least some of those bruises had been there before the incident, and the state says this was not self-defense.
We have not avoided the fact that this was a mutually abusive relationship. The issue is whether the defendant's conduct in stabbing and killing.
And there's some additional background. Whether or not she'll be able to bond out remains unclear at this junction. And let me get a little more stuff. That showed the crime scene. It was rather graphic. I'm not sure I should have shown that. And she has pled not guilty to the second-degree murder charges in Florida. And it's a big world out there. If she's released on bond, she could actually disappear. She has quite an extensive array of finances and everything. So whether the judge rules that she awaits trial or is released on bond remains unclear, as I stated previously. And She was originally extradited from Hawaii to Florida, and she waived extradition. She didn't fight the charges. And she was into acting at one time. She took dance and voice lessons also. So she was quite a performer. And the 911 call, which is definitely significant in the case, was recorded, and that'll be played in trial as it offers a first-hand account of what actually happened at the scene. And she phoned her mother prior to calling 911 and spoke for her for several minutes. What was discussed on that line remains unclear. And here's a clip of a news broadcast about the case. Not a clip, a still shot, actually. And just prior to the killing, she appears in a video, a still shot from a video, talking to the police after they arrived on the scene. She wanted a restraining order against her boyfriend. And it looks like this took place in the lobby of the apartment complex, or the condominium complex. And here she is being arraigned in Florida. And she originally told the authorities that she threw an instrument at him, but the forensic evidence didn't support this notion. So she was arrested and charged. And she once appeared in a music video called Everybody Wants Some, and there's a still shot of that. And she once worked as a personal trainer, Cleeney did. And she worked in advertising as a spokesperson promoting certain name brands. And she was once charged with driving under the influence of alcohol in Texas. And if convicted, she could face up to life in prison. And the deceased victim filmed numerous conversations and recorded conversations with her prior to his death. Some are quite graphic, and this will impact the case in every sense of the word. And it'll be played in court and stuff. It already has. And they lived on the water in Miami's Edgewater neighborhood, wherever that is. And after the death of her boyfriend, Cleeney was kept in a psychiatric hold for a while. And Cleeney's attorneys tried to limit the amount of material that could be released to the press, saying it will taint the trial, but the judge overruled this, so everything that's out there can be used against her, it looks like. And here's the legal authorities relating a timeline concerning the charges against her. And those that knew her say she used to strike him, but they never saw him strike her. And I guess that should probably do it. And oh yeah, if the trial is filmed live, if they allow cameras in, if not, you'll have to do with drawings of what takes place in the courtroom. Depends how the judge rules on that. And the case is quite prominent. Perhaps at some point it will make it to a movie theater. Other cases that are similar to that have also. And Cleeney was in Hawaii being treated for post-traumatic stress disorder addiction issues prior to her getting arrested and after the homicide. And the trial is scheduled for December 19th. And there will be other cases ahead of it, but it's possible the judge may rush this one to the forefront because of its significance and interest from the media and public. And let's see. Cleeney also once was facing legal charges in Florida, and she fled to avoid the court proceedings. So, and let's see. I guess that should do it. And there won't be any plea deals in the state. It looks like this case will definitely go to trial. And you have the right to stand your ground in Florida, and whether or not this will be applicable in this case or not. Okay. She may use that as a defense, and the prosecution will have to prove that that didn't apply in this particular case. And let's see if I can... And the case will be congested. There'll be a lot of media attention and public interest. It's hard to even get seats in that place, so you have to line up pretty early in the morning to get a seat there. And Clooney's lawyers for her case may be professional, high price, but they're facing quite an issue ahead of them. And the evidence the evidence against her is definitely formidable and present and formidable. So it's hard to come up with what exactly happened in the courtroom, but December 19th is the day it begins, and I guess that'll do it. I tried to get everything in here. If you heard about this case before, hopefully I offered a good flashback. If not, hopefully I was able to get everything in here in a timely capacity. And I guess that should do it. Yeah, that'll do it.